Good evening. The hour of 7 p.m. having arrived, I will call to order this regular meeting of the Keene City Council. This meeting is being broadcast live on the City of Keene YouTube channel and Spectrum Channel 1302. The video is also streamed on the city's website and is posted by the end of the next business day, barring any technical difficulties. If you would like to receive an electronic City Council packet to reference while viewing future broadcasts, please contact the City Clerk's office during business hours or go to the city's website and subscribe to the city meetings email list. The agenda is also accessible from any mobile device. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Be happy to. Kate M. Bosley. Here. Laura E. Tobin. Here. Michael J. Remy.
Here.
Randy L. Filio.
Here.
Robert C. Williams.
Here.
Edward J. Haas.
Here.
Philip M. Jones.
Present.
Andrew M. Madison.
Ho ho here.
Chrissy Roberts.
Here.
Jacob R. Favalise.
Here.
Brian J. Lake.
Here.
Catherine I. Workman.
Here.
Bettina H. Adborn.
Here.
Thomas F. Powers.
Here.
Mitchell H. Greenwald.
Here.
I'd like to ask Councilor Chadbourne, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Come on, Tom, get up. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to recognize Councilor Greenwald for a motion to adopt the minutes of our previous meeting.
Thank you, Your Honor. I move to adopt the minutes of the December 4, 2025 meeting as presented.
Second.
Seconded by Councilor Filio. Any comments or corrections to the minutes? Seeing none, all those in favor of accepting the minutes, motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Announcements for today. We have one birthday to celebrate in our month of December. It is Councilor Phil Jones. Happy birthday, Phil. You get the balloon-colored package this month. The city clerk has posted the list of current vacancies on city boards and commissions. You'll see that tonight we have filled an incredible number of them. And thank you to all those who have volunteered, stepped forward to express their statement of interest. Anyone interested, though, in the remaining vacancies that there are, and there are a number of alternate positions, please consult the city website. An online volunteer submittal form is available for you to indicate your interest. And councilors, if you have folks that you wish to nominate, please do so. Things that are happening tonight, I look forward to, Cheryl and I look forward to hosting you later this evening. You've received directions to our house in an email to your council mailbox earlier today. So we will move with some alacrity during this meeting so that we can enjoy each other's company. There will be free parking in the city of Keene starting today, and it lasts through December 25th. And then again, it is free on January 1st for all those who are coming to the inauguration. Time limits still apply, however, and we encourage people to visit downtown for all of their holiday shopping. There are no delivery fees. The city of Keene will be closed on Christmas Day, Thursday, December 25th, and on Thursday, January 1st, to celebrate the new year, the 25th, obviously, to celebrate Christmas Day. The city will be open for business on the Friday following each of these holidays, so don't have to wait long for City Hall to open up again. The Municipal Services, Facilities, and Infrastructure Committee meeting that was scheduled for December 24th has been canceled for this month. And the Finance, Organization, and Personnel Committee meeting that was scheduled otherwise for December 25th has been moved to be held on December 23rd. A reminder that the City Council's inauguration ceremony will be held on January 1st, 2026 at noon in the council chambers. We will have some council business on our agenda that day, in particular to approve those first reading nominations for boards and commissions that are before us today, so that all of those boards and commissions can start up as fully occupied with, have a full role for their first meetings of the year. And tonight, it is with regret, but I need to recognize 3 of our retiring counselors, and I would like to ask Kate to join me first. And Mike, Counselor Remy, you are next in line, so prepare yourself. And Counselor Madison, we're just going down the line here. No other volunteers tonight, please.
Wants to sit on this side.
So this is our tradition, I'm told. This is my first time honoring those who have served and served our city really well. So at the conclusion, this is your last meeting. I know the roll call was something of sentiment for at least others in the room. Kate, you've served the city council since August 1st of 2019, when you were selected by the city council to fill a vacancy. Then you were elected to a term at large, and you were then selected to chair the Planning, Licenses, and Development Committee, which you have done since January of 2020. You've taken on this leadership role within 6 months of joining the council. And the feat that made this even more impressive is considering the kinds of contributions you made as the chair of Planning, Licenses, and Development, and to the Joint Committee with the Planning Board. You became the chair just before COVID and effectively oversaw your duties during that difficult time. And as a small business owner and property manager, you were uniquely qualified to assist the city with updating our zoning regulations, our codes, and enforcement issues. You were involved with drafting and adopting the current land development code, and you have shepherded several valuable zoning and land development initiatives to fruition for the benefit of Keene and our residents and our developers. You've been involved in the housing needs analysis undertaken by the Joint Committee, as well as several housing-related land development code amendments to encourage more housing development and availability of affordable housing in the city of Keene, with such initiatives as the Cottage Court overlay and loosening of boundary and height restrictions to facilitate multifamily housing. You've worked with 3 community development directors in your time in the city council, which has also stretched your leadership responsibilities in helping guide them into their duties. But you have demonstrated your ability to see and manage difficult initiatives through to completion as leadership's changed within the city's administrative team. It's with great admiration that I, and I'm sure your colleagues here, want to bestow their affection to you. For me, I get to present you with the key to the city, your honorary key, and
Thank you so much.
there are a parting gift,
That's a big box.
and we're going to ask Mike to open his.
Okay.
Because there's a little twist to his, but
Okay.
if you wish, it is all yours to open, but if you want to take it home and put it under the tree. Your call.
I'm happy to open it.
All
Is
right.
there anyone
Did
else
somebody
want
get
to
a photo
surprise
of
that?
this?
Is it candy?
Yeah. It's a giant box of candy. Yeah.
You don't have to read the comment. There's more.
Oh, there is
There's more.
There's more?
One, just one. It's underneath. Yes. Exactly.
Oh. All right, well, this is the best part of it.
Aw.
What is it, a clock?
I wondered what happened to all these photos. that
Oh, wow.
Very nice. That's awesome. So you can't forget us. No, there's no forgetting this experience.
The presentation is precious, and we
It's
thank
the
the clerk's
beginning of your
office for-
time and the end of your
Yeah.
time.
Better than the clock.
Oh, thank you.
Good job. I'll give you back the clock.
Mm-hmm.
Give you back the clock.
Yeah, I didn't care for
I
that.
don't like the clock.
You do?
It doesn't
So
jump.
thrilled with it.
The box starts moving on me. I don't need a pet.
Get you a bottle of bourbon.
Yeah, that's it. That's the twist.
Oh, Mike Remy, otherwise known as Remy. But Counselor, you have served the city council since January of 2020 as well. You have been consistently on the Finance Organization and Personnel Committee. It is because of your skills, your acumen with financial matters and others that have been recognized in your employment and recognized by your colleagues on the council. You've been appointed as Vice Chair of Finance Organization and Personnel since January of '22. And this leadership role fit very naturally into your vast knowledge of finance and logistics from your role at CNS Wholesale Grocers, CNS Family. Yeah, there's something else after. Through many difficult and time-consuming meetings to discuss capital planning and operating budgets, Mike, you have always been prepared with sound advice relating to the city's finances, which you absorbed and understood quickly and thoroughly. You've also served on the city council as the city council's designee on the planning board since February 2020. And you've been involved in several of their initiatives going through the planning board process, including the drafting and adoption of the 2025 Comprehensive Master Plan, a document that will shape the future of the city of Keene for many years to come. Michael, you've taken part in the joint planning board and the Planning Licenses and Development Committee's Housing Needs Analysis Project in 2022 and in 2023. And you've been involved with several amendments to the Land Development Code to encourage housing development and the availability of affordable housing in the city. You've been a strong advocate for development, and you have served as a process engineer in the revision of planning board regulations, helping to spur economic development in the city. You've been a part of the city manager's fire staffing committee, assisting with recommendations necessary changes to augment the fire department team. Mike, you've served also as an alternate to the Zoning Board of Adjustments prior to your start as the city councilor. And I gotta say, as a person who has to travel across the country for your work, you have never shirked your responsibilities as a city councilor, even if you've caused us to have roll call.
It was like the first thing I put in was remote participation indefinitely, so I was excited to have that.
Well, thank you for doing that. It served you and us well. I want to thank you, and I want to present you too with a key, honorary key to the city to add to your city pin.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for your service.
Thank you. You've been in my chair for the whole time. Oh, so what's my twist?
Yeah,
We'll see.
just reach to the bottom of the box.
It won't bite.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Very nice, thank you. Yeah, do you mind helping me on that?
Different colors.
Yeah.
What is it? What is it?
go to
his celestial image.
So you're just a floating head. It's just a couple the talking.
Oh, I love it, it's great.
Hey,
You said you wanted to be
Hey,
photoshopped in, and that is
I
the
wasn't
best.
sure if I was kidding or not, now I know I wasn't.
Andrew, please join me. So. He wins. Yes? Andrew Madison, as a city councilor, you joined the council in March of 2021 when you were appointed to fill a vacancy in Ward 3 council seat. Councilor Madison began his service as a member of the Municipal Services and Facilities Infrastructure Committee. In 2022, you joined the Finance, Organization, and Personnel Committee, and in June of 24, you were selected to move to the Planning, Licenses, and Development Committee when an opening was left by the departure of a city councilor in midterm. You are the prototype of a city councilor who has been the utility fielder of the council, serving on all three of our permanent committees. Prior to serving on the city council, Andrew served as the vice chair of the Conservation Commission from January of 2016 through December of 2018, a position that we know through your role with Environmental Services Department of the state of New Hampshire is very well suited for you. After joining the council, you returned to the Conservation Commission in 2020, and you served as their vice chair from 2022 to 2024, and then became the chair of the Conservation Commission in 2025. During your tenure, environmental stewardship has been a priority, and you've helped make it a priority of this council, including the adoption and implementation of the Greater Goose Pond Forest Stewardship Plan. You've been involved in various land acquisitions that had recreational and conservation value, such as land abutting Beaverbrook Falls and land around the Greater Goose Pond Forest. You've served on the Bicycle Pedestrian Path Advisory Committee from February 23 through January 24, and you've also served on the Partner City Committee since November of 2023 and will continue to serve on that committee until Einbecker beer is no longer made. Your service on all three standing committees and the many boards and commissions highlight your dynamic and civic-minded service to the city and its residents. We are forever grateful for your service and know that you'll continue to serve the city in every capacity that you have time and ability to serve. And I, too, want to present you with an honorary key to the city for your jacket.
Thank you
And
very much, sir.
I know, you were in the photo, so
There's
no surprises
No
here.
surprise. I will maintain the tradition of opening it. The cutting board, and I'm presuming another picture of all of us underneath. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And a really big thanks to the city clerk's office for their work on this. They enjoy doing this. We now turn to elections and nominations and appointments.
And we have our confirmations from the prior meeting. I'm going to try to read these as fast as I can. We have to the Airport Development and Marketing Committee, Peter Temple, for a term to expire 12/31/2028, and Julie Scholzil, also for a term to expire December 31, 2028. To the Ashwheeler River Park Advisory Board, we have Arthur Windsor moving from alternate to regular, and Thomas Haynes renominated as an alternate, both with terms to expire December 31, 2028. To the Assessors Board, we have John Newcomb renominated for a term to expire December 31, 2028. To the Bicycle Pedestrian Path Advisory Committee, we have Rowland Russell renominated to serve as a regular member, Charles Redfern moving from alternate to regular member, Michael Davern moving from regular to alternate, Diana Duffy being renominated as an alternate, and Andy Holt being renominated as an alternate, and they will all have terms to expire December 31, 2028. To the Building Board of Appeals, we have Corinne Park and Malcolm Katz, both renominated for terms to expire December 31, 2028, and Stephen Walsh for a term to expire December 31, 2027. To the Conservation Commission, we have Robert Milliken. Robert has requested to remain an alternate on the board, and he will continue to serve in slot 8. And we have Stephen Bill renominated in slot 5, Kenneth Bergman moving from alternate to regular membership, and Alexander Von Plinsky returning as an alternate, all with terms to expire December 31, 2028. To the Heritage Commission, we have Collie Powell moving from alternate to regular member, term to expire December 31, 2028. To the Historic District Commission, Anthony Ferrantello, Sophia Cuna Vasconcelos, and Peter Panessa, all returning with terms to expire December 31, 2028, Peter as an alternate. To the Housing Standards Board of Appeal, Corinne Park and Malcolm Katz with terms to expire December 31, 2028, and Stephen Walsh with a term to expire December 31, 2027. To the Keene Housing, we have Cody Morrison returning for a term to expire December 31, 2030. To Partner City Committee, we have John Mitchell, Andrew Madison, who is moving from the counselor's position to regular membership. We have Will Schaffman as well. They will all have terms to expire December 31, 2028. We have Doris McAllister for a term to expire December 31, 2026. And Gerald Linz for a term to expire December 31, 2028. And that concludes our confirmations.
Ask Counselor Greenwald for a motion.
Thank you, Your Honor. Move to confirm the nominations.
Second.
Seconded by Counselor Bosley. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Counselor Bosley?
Yes.
Counselor Tobin?
Yes.
Counselor Remy?
Yes.
Counselor Filio?
Yes.
Counselor Williams?
Yes.
Counselor Haas?
Yes.
Counselor Jones?
Yes.
Counselor Madison?
Yes.
Counselor Roberts?
Yes.
Counselor Favelise?
Yes.
Counselor Lake?
Yes.
Counselor Workman?
Yes.
Counselor Chadbourne?
Yes.
Counselor Powers?
Yes.
Counselor Greenwald?
Yep.
Motion carries unanimously. And we'll move to nominations for first reading.
And we actually.
Oh, we're going to move forward one item.
Yes.
F1, relative to a resignation.
So we have received a memorandum from the library director, and this relates to the resignation of Catherine Bear from the Library Board of Trustees.
Counselor Greenwald for a motion.
Thank you, Your Honor. I move to accept the resignation, express thanks for service and regret for resignation.
Second.
Seconded by Counselor Bosley. Simple majority. All those in favor? Motion carries unanimously. Now we will read first reading nominations.
And you'll find on your desk an amended memo for these nominations. We did have a couple of corrections to make and 2 people that were added into the mix after the cutoff. And so we'll read them into the record and they will be tabled until the next time. See how quickly we can do this. So we have to the Airport Marketing and Development Committee, Mitchell Greenwald, counselor, and we also have Jacob Favelise, and he'll be serving as a regular member, both with terms to expire December 31, 2027. To the Bicycle Pedestrian Path Advisory Committee, we have Brian Phillips, who will serve for a term to expire December 31, 2028. To Conservation Commission, William White, to serve through December 31, 2028. Michelle Chalice, serving through December 31, 2027. To Energy and Climate, we have Brian Lake being renominated for a term to expire December 31, 2027. Connie Joyce, who was not in the original memo but now is, she will serve as an alternate with a term to expire December 31, 2028.
Excuse me, just for correction, that is to the Heritage Commission.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. So to the Heritage Commission, we will add Connie Joyce with a term to expire December 31, 2028, as well as Molly Ellis, serving in the counselor spot for a term to expire December 31, 2027. To the Historic District Commission, we have Ed Haas, serving for a term to expire December 31, 2027. To Human Rights Committee, we have Bettina Chadbourne, serving for a term through December 31, 2027. We have Gregory Kleiner, moving from alternate to regular membership for a term to expire December 31, 2028, and Sofia Cuna Vasconcelos, moving from regular to alternate for a term to expire December 31, 2028. To the Library Board of Trustees, we have Jennifer Friedman. She will serve a term to expire June 30th, 2026. To Partner City Committee, we have Laura Ruddle Miller, serving through December 31, 2027, and Andrew Madison, who will be moving from the counselor position to a regular membership slot for a term to expire December 31, 2028. And we have the Planning Board, Michael Hafer will be moving from alternate to regular. Ken Cost is re-nominated. Andrew Madison will be a new member to that board, and Molly Ellis will be serving in the counselor spot. The first three with a term to expire December 31, 2028, and Molly Ellis will serve until December 31, 2027. To the trustees of trust funds and cemetery trustees, we have Janelle Sartorio with a term to expire December 31, 2028.
You're right.
Do we have an issue?
Keep going.
Okay. And then to the Zoning Board of Adjustment, Stephen Buckley and Michael Zoll, both with terms to expire December 31, 2028.
The observation that the manager pointed out is that we've already acted on Counselor Madison's move from the counselor position to a regular position.
He was on the other
He's on the other
report.
sheet,
Oh,
yeah.
thank you. Yes, we really wanted him to stay. Sorry.
It's because of that sweater.
It's 2 votes.
All right, we will defer further consideration to our next regular meeting. Okay, we'll move to communications.
And we have one communication this evening. It is from Adam Wright, and Mr. Wright is requesting to withdraw his petition and pending ordinance O 2025-28A related to zoning map amendments for properties on the intersection of Pearl and Winchester Street.
I'd like to recognize Counselor Jones for a motion.
We're just accepting his letter, we're gonna still do the ordinance later, right?
All right, we'll just accept the letter at this point and move on to, but
Under second
Let
readings, we
us-
get the ordinance.
good enough.
Okay.
Let's
No, I think that if you.
move forward the consideration of the ordinance. Do you want to do that?
City Attorney.
You do need to act on the request to
Yes.
accept the withdrawals. You can either do that now or later. It's on the agenda
I'll make a
now.
motion to accept the withdrawal.
Perfect.
Seconded by Counselor Filio. All those in favor? It is withdrawn. Thank you. Move on to council reports and ask the clerk to read the first.
Our first report is from the Planning Licenses and Development Committee, and it has to do with the 2026 Ice and Snow Festival. And on a vote of 3-0, the Planning Licenses and Development Committee recommends that the Keene Downtown Group be granted a street fair license to use downtown city rights-of-way for purposes of conducting merchant sidewalk sales, as well as use of downtown city property on Central Square, Church Street, Commercial Street, Gilboa Avenue, Main Street, Roxbury Street, Railroad Street, and designated parking spaces on Central Square and Main Street to conduct the Ice and Snow Festival on Saturday, February 7th, 2026, from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m., and reserving an inclement weather date of Sunday, February 8th, 2026. In addition, the applicant is permitted to close off a portion of Railroad Street from Main Street to 93rd Street, Church Street from Main Street to Hannah Grimes back parking lot, and Commercial Street from Main Street to Commercial Street parking lot. The petitioner is further granted permission for 2 small outdoor campfires in enclosed fire pits on city property adjacent to Railroad Square, subject to obtainment of a burn permit from the Fire Prevention Bureau. This permission is granted subject to the signing of a revocable license and indemnification agreement, submittal of a certificate of liability insurance in the amount of $1 million listing the city as additional insured, submittal of signed letters of permission from the owners of any use of private property, and compliance with any recommendations of staff. In addition, the petitioner is granted use of the requested parking spaces free of charge under the provisions of the free parking policy. The petitioner agrees to absorb the cost of any city services over and above the amount of city funding allocated in the FY26 community events budget.
And Counselor Haas has asked to be recused from this vote as he's a member of the requesting body. So any objection to that? Okay, you are, thank you. This should be brief. I'd like to recognize Counselor Jones for a motion.
Thank you, Your Honor. I move the intent of the committee report.
Second.
Seconded by Counselor Bosley. Any further comment or otherwise?
Oh, Mark Rebellard, a man so nice, we mentioned him twice. He's always bringing joy to the world. He did a great presentation on the Ice and Snow Festival. There's no significant changes from other years. I do want to mention, though, that they are looking for an area downtown where they can register their ice carvers. So, Mitch, Kate, maybe pay attention to that, and maybe you know someplace. It's just for that day that they're looking for that help.
An indoor space, correct?
An indoor space, yes.
Okay.
An empty storefront or something.
Thank you for the advertisement. We've got a motion and a second. If there's no further comment, all those in favor, accepting is informational. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you.
Not informational.
Huh?
Intent of the committee report.
They just carried out the
Thank you.
intent. Yeah.
The intent of the committee report. Thank you. Moving on to D2.
And this is a Finance, Organization, and Personnel Committee report relative to a 2025 Homeland Security Grant Program Hazmat Training Award. And on a vote of 4-0, the Finance, Organization, and Personnel Committee recommends that the city manager be authorized to do all things necessary to accept and expend the 2025 Homeland Security Grant Program Hazmat Training Award.
Recognize Councilor Powers for a motion.
Thank you, Your Honor. I move to carry out the intent of the committee report.
Second.
Seconded by Councilor Remy. Councilor Powers?
This is an annual award to the city of Keene from the State Homeland Security Grant Program. This is particularly for hazmat training, so it provides $33,000 for the department to work on various parts of their hazmat program, whether it be actual events of trying to work through all the equipment or just training, classroom training, and understanding the different parts of what constitute a hazmat situation. $33,000 does not require any match by the city of Keene. I recommend we accept this.
Any questions? All those in favor? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you.
And next, we have a Finance, Organization, and Personnel Committee report relative to a professional services contract for the wastewater treatment plant HVAC replacement and grit chamber ductwork insulation repair project. And on a vote of 4-0, the Finance, Organization, and Personnel Committee recommends that the city manager be authorized to do all things necessary to negotiate and execute a professional services contract with Precision Temperature Control, LLC, to perform design and construction services for the wastewater treatment plant HVAC replacement and grit chamber ductwork insulation repair project for an amount not to exceed $396,700.
Councilor Powers again.
Thank you, Your Honor. Move to carry out the intent of the committee report.
Second.
Seconded by Councilor Remy.
This particular project involves quite a bit of work at the wastewater treatment plant. Heating and ventilating is a large part of what goes on down there. You would think that it wasn't as big a project as it is. And then there's some work over the grit basin area. So this went out to bid. This is in the budget. It's been in design for a while. It's been under consideration by the department. And they went out to bid and only received one bid this particular year. And the Public Works Department felt that it was a reasonable bid. They had a project group that went through the entire proposal, discussed the pricing, and found it all to be reasonable. The company that will be doing the work, we hope will be doing the work, Precision Temperature Control, has been in this area for about 40 years doing the same type of work over in Peterborough, wastewater, water treatment plant. So they're well qualified to do the job, recommended by the team that examined the proposal, and we hope the city council would authorize this. Thank you.
Any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor? Motion carries unanimously.
And next, we have a Finance, Organization, and Personnel Committee report relative to the execution of an agreement for engineering services with Stantec Consulting Services for the design of the Gilboa Ave Solar Pavilion project. And on a vote of 4-0, the Finance, Organization, and Personnel Committee recommends that the city manager be authorized to do all things necessary to execute an agreement with Stantec for engineering services for the design of the Gilboa Avenue Solar Pavilion project for an amount not to exceed $340,000.
Council Powers for a motion.
Thank you, Your Honor. Move to carry out the intent of the committee report.
Second.
Where is the second?
Me.
Council Lee.
There are two of them, so.
Yeah.
All
Got
right.
it.
This project went out as an RFQ, and it went out twice. First time around, it's not satisfactory to meet our needs, and second time, got two different proposals that came in. The money, part of the money coming towards this is from the Northern Border Grant. Therefore, it's part of the federal system, and there's a certain criteria that's used to examine these proposals, a certain standard for engineering. And that was all worked into the project here as the city reviewed it. And they recommend that for the amount of $340,000, this be awarded to Stantec. This is the engineering part. This is design for the Gilboa Ave area. And it's, you know, the most important part of any one of these projects is to have it designed properly. So we need to get started as we move down the road for this. We hope you will pass this.
Councilor Greenwald.
Thank you, Your Honor. I would ask of the city manager or yourself, might this item be held until after the manager's remarks?
I think that this project is independent of the downtown project. The Public Works Director can correct me if I'm wrong. However, this is a standalone project on Gilboa Ave. Gilboa Ave was actually removed from the scope of work for the downtown project.
Okay. I will proceed, if I may. I am not going to support this. I have great concerns, as you'll hear more later, of any project involving the Stantec organization and their ability to manage a project and bidding. You will hear more later. I'll just leave it at that. I will vote no on this. I think the project otherwise is great, but we need a different engineer on this.
Councilor Filio.
I'm going to echo what Councilor Greenwald just said, but he got his hand up first. For every reason that he said, more that we're going to hear later, I will not vote yes on anything that Stantec has before this council.
Any further comments? Councilor Raymond.
And you want to know why?
It's really hard to vote on this not knowing what they're talking about.
All right, I think the manager will address your question.
We had the bid opening this afternoon for the downtown project at 2 o'clock. We received two bids. One from Casella submitted a bid of approximately $28 million, and one from a company called Albanese that submitted a bid for approximately $30.8 million. As a reminder, this project budget approved by the council is $19 million. Both bids, therefore, came in significantly higher than our funding capacity, and at this time, no action is being requested of the council related to the downtown infrastructure project. Staff will take a deliberate pause to fully review the bid submissions and evaluate available options to us, including whether or not we rebid the project in the spring, and whether or not that's an option And this matter will be discussed further related to the downtown bidding at the next MSFI meeting in January.
Thank you.
Any further comments from councilors? We have a motion for approval on the floor. Hand vote.
Can we do a roll call?
Huh?
Can we do a roll call?
I was wondering if somebody was going to do that. Thank you. Roll call's been requested.
Counselor Bosley,
No.
Counselor Tobin,
Yes.
Counselor Remy,
No.
Counselor Filio.
No.
Counselor Williams,
Yes.
Counselor Haas,
No.
Counselor Jones,
No.
Counselor Madison,
No.
Counselor Roberts,
Yes.
Counselor Favelis.
No.
Counselor Lake,
Yes.
Counselor Workman,
No.
Counselor Chadbourne.
No.
Counselor Powers,
Yes.
Counselor Greenwald.
No.
10 opposed.
No, yeah.
That's a no.
Motion is defeated with 10 no, 6 in favor. We'll hear more.
5 in favor.
That's different kind of math.
Sorry,
You didn't have to vote.
I didn't vote.
You wanted to.
I'm sure we'll hear more on this later. Thank you. Moving on. D5.
Yes, this is a Finance, Organization, and Personnel Committee report relative to the acceptance and execution of a grant agreement with the New Hampshire Fish and Game Department for the Jordan Road Salamander Crossing Project. And on a vote of 4-0, the Finance, Organization, and Personnel Committee recommends that the manager be authorized to do all things necessary to execute, accept, and expend a grant agreement with the New Hampshire Fish and Game Department for the engineering, permitting, and construction of the Jordan Road Salamander Crossing Project.
Counselor Powers for the motion.
Thank you, Your Honor. Move to carry out the intent of this committee report.
Second.
Seconded by Counselor Remy.
We've been very fortunate to have the New Hampshire Fish and Game Department partnering with us to continue to assist with the salamander. There's a first name to the salamander.
Jefferson.
Jefferson Salamander Crossings. And it sounds pretty interesting. It's going to be an interesting project, there's no doubt about it. But it will continue to have the interest of so many people in the public that the Fish and Game Department finds it worthy for them to pony up $375,000 for the project, and we have a 10% city commitment, and that will be made up by donated time and donated work on the part of either employees or some volunteers, so worthwhile, very worthwhile project. Recommend this be approved.
And in the motion, it does make reference to, or in the background, to the Harris Center and their role with contributing to the match. Counselor Greenwald.
Thank you. No, I did not take nasty pills tonight, and I love salamanders. I have been out there with a flashlight. It's a beautiful thing, residents helping the little fellow, or people, or animals, I don't know what, across the street. However, and I also need to point out, they are Ward 2 residents, Counselor. They can't vote because they don't have IDs, but anyway. I have a lot of humorous things that I could say, but I think we want to get out of here. So I will just leave it at this. I cannot stand behind $375,000 for a salamander tunnel. I don't care where the money came from, whether it's Fish and Game or a scratch ticket. There are much better uses of that money. So on one hand, I hope you pass it. On the other hand, not me. Good night.
Any further comments? Counselor Williams.
Yeah, 375,000 is a lot. Let's not think of it just as the salamanders, though. This is for preservation of the
They're frogs,
ecosystem, which
I'm sorry.
costs some money,
Please.
unfortunately. These salamanders have brought fame to Keene. You know, I think we made the New York Times with our salamanders. So yeah, it's a lot, but let's preserve our ecosystem.
Counselor Madison.
Thank you, Your Honor. It's I can go on about the many ecological benefits of salamanders, but the 375 that's coming from New Hampshire Fish and Game, I get that there's a lot of good stuff we can do with $375,000, but this is what Fish and Game has set aside for us. We can't take the 375 and then say, oh, hey, let's spend it on something else. Like, we can take it and spend it on a crossing for salamanders, or it can go to someone else for a crossing for salamanders. Let's have a crossing for salamanders.
Thank you, Counsel. Further comments? Seeing none. All those in favor of the motion? Looks like 14. All
hope.
opposed?
Oh, I wanted a 14 to 1.
13.
Come on.
Did 2.
Bridge.
Opposed. Counselor Filio also opposed.
Coming back with
Counselor Greenwald.
squirrels.
All right, moving along. Item D6.
This is a Finance Organization and Personnel Committee report relative to acceptance of donations for the Jordan Road Salamander Crossing project. And on a vote of 4 to 0, the Finance Organization and Personnel Committee recommends that the city manager be authorized to do all things necessary to accept in-kind donations from the Harris Center for Conservation Education.
Counselor Powers for the motion.
Thank you, Your Honor. Move to carry out the intent of the committee report.
Second.
Seconded by Counselor Remy. Counselor Powers.
This action authorizes the city manager to accept donations to go along with the Fish and Games cash, and that'll be made up with time by people who are interested in working on the project, the time that it takes to design parts of it, and I'm sure there'll be some cash donations from people for this. Thank you.
Thank you. No further comments on this. Thank you. All those in favor?
What the hell?
This one carries unanimously. Thank you.
Crossing guards.
And now we move on to D7, a Finance Organization and Personnel Committee report relative to acceptance of donations for the Ashwheelet Park Green Space. And on a vote of 4 to 0, the Finance Organization and Personnel Committee recommends that the city manager be authorized to do all things necessary to accept a donation of $35,000 from an anonymous donor, and that the money is allocated for a conceptual design for the Ashwheelet River Park Green Space.
Counselor Powers for the motion.
Thank you, Your Honor. The Ashwheelet River Park Green Space has been on the books for quite some time as we move forward trying to bring this to a conclusion. And certainly getting very close. If you drive by now, you see the building that's going up. It's all part of this action where the property has been subdivided, the city is going to have part of it. But once again, just shows you what kind of people live in the city of Keene. $35,000 from somebody that wants to help us get this thing moving. And so whoever that is, thank you very much. We certainly appreciate it, and everybody who uses it will be very appreciative. So the $35,000 will help us get moving on the design for the conceptions of how this is gonna pull together. And as it moves forward, we'll work through the other financing portions of it as time provides. But this is an opportune time because it's the springtime when we could really be moving forward with some portions of it. Please pass this.
Counselor Remy.
Move to carry out the intent of the committee report.
Thank you.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor of the motion as presented. Motion carries unanimously.
And we have another Finance Organization and Personnel Committee report relative to Land and Water Conservation Fund Grant Round 36. And on a vote of 4 to 0, the Finance Organization and Personnel Committee recommends that the city manager be authorized to execute the submission of the application for Land and Water Conservation Fund Grant Round 36 for the Patricia T. Russell Park Phase 2 project amendment.
Counselor Powers for the motion.
Thank you, Your Honor. Move to carry out the intent of the committee report.
Second.
Seconded by Counselor Remy.
Another city project that's in the works and coming to a very nice conclusion very quickly here. This grant is going to get some additional money required to build a small parking lot over towards the skate park to connect with the existing parking lot with the property that's already been developed. One of the reasons that we're going in for additional money is that we had to wait a little while to tear down the old findings building, get going on the skate park, and it was just prudent to get the first parking lot done and go in and see if we can get the money that's necessary to finish this up and make it really look well. So one's a very small park, the other one's park, and they will be connected in a fashion that's very, very nice. It'll really put a final touch to that park. Thank you very much. Hope you will pass it.
Further comments? Counselor Haas.
Yeah, thank you, Your Honor. I have a question to the committee. Is this for more parking lot or just improvement of the grounds?
Parking lot.
Okay. Okay. All those in favor of the, carry out the intent of the committee report? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you.
No.
One, sorry, 14-1, Counselor Haas in opposition.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
So next, we have a Finance, Organization, and Personnel Committee report relative to the transfer of capital improvement project funds for the Airport Taxiway A reconstruction project. And on a vote of 4-0, the Finance, Organization, and Personnel Committee recommends that the City Council authorize the transfer of remaining project balance from Project 05J008A, the Airport Hazard Beacon Replacement Project, to Project 05J0004B, the AIP Taxiway A reconstruction, to fund unanticipated taxiway paving expenses.
Counselor Powers, one more time.
Thank you, Your Honor. Move to carry out the intent of this report.
Second.
Second by Counselor Remy.
All right, we've had some great projects come through this week, and I really don't want to belabor this, but I think a lot of recognition is necessary as we talk through this. As you know, we get our federal funding down through the state for the airport. And the taxiway has been on the list of needing repairs for quite some time. We finally achieved a point on that list where we got the financing. All the little dots didn't come together, and the next thing you know, it's snowing while they're working on this project. We're very fortunate to have a very good contractor doing the work. We have a very good engineer working at the airport. We've got an excellent staff at Public Works at the airport. We have an acting airport director that knows how to do all this. And she pulled it all together whereby they made some additional contracts with the hardtop firm because it has to meet a certain temperature, and it wasn't gonna with that weather. They pulled this all together, and this job was finished to the standards that were necessary, and we were only able to do it because we are able, as a city council, to move some money around. The project that was completed had about $50,000 left over, so they moved that over, and that will cover the additional expenses that were necessary for us to make this work. Please pass this. Thank you.
Questions? Seeing none, all those in favor? Motion carries. To carry out the intent of the committee report. I'd like to recognize the city manager for her report.
So I only had two updates for you this evening. You heard one already related to the downtown project. I will just add that those bids came in this afternoon, and we have not gone through and looked at them and compared them to both engineer estimates and to each other. I know the purchasing office did a little bit of preliminary work this afternoon, and it looked like the two firms that bid were wildly different in categories, which is strange. So I do think we need some time for the normal review of the bids, and then we'll be able to come back to MSFI with more information and hopefully some additional recommendations. The other news that I have for you is much better, and really, I'm going to give our city assessor a lot of credit, and Eversource has been appealing their property tax assessments with numerous municipalities throughout the state for years. The appeals have been for both their transmission and distribution assets. Transmission assets are the larger lines and the equipment related to transmitting electricity throughout New England and beyond, while distribution assets relate to the transmission of electricity throughout communities in New Hampshire. With so many appeals, the legislature finally codified a formula in 2019 to value just the distribution assets. Even with the new legislation in place, Eversource continued appealing the transmission values after 2019. What this meant for the city is Eversource appealed the entire valuation of its assets for 2017 and 2018, and then again 2019 through 2022. They appealed just the transmission assets. By filing these appeals, Eversource was seeking to lower their assessments, which would have meant the city would have had to pay back over $2 million in taxes, plus interest, for the combined 5 years. Future years would have also been affected with lower valuations. Today, we learned after a lengthy and technical trial at the Superior Court that they upheld all of the city's assessments in Keene. Eversource accounts for over $100 million in assessed value annually, so kudos to our city assessor and the whole assessing team.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lanchel.
That's all.
Thank you. Okay. Moving on, we've covered the resignation of Ms. Bear, and moving on to ordinances for first reading.
Yes, and our first ordinance is coming in from our senior planner, and it relates to application procedures for zoning applications and the definition of primary entrance. And this is ordinance O 2025-39.
Okay. We'll refer this to planning licenses and development.
And we have a second ordinance for first reading, and this too is from our senior planner and relates to setback exceptions, accessory dwelling units, and parking regulations, ordinance O 2025-40.
And this will require a joint committee consideration, so we'll refer that to the joint committee and planning licenses and development at their next regular meeting. Moving on to ordinances for the second reading.
And our first ordinance is O 2025-28A, and I believe we have already acted on this by withdrawing it previously.
This ordinance was withdrawn with our previous communication, so no further consideration by the council at this time.
Thank you.
Moving on to J2.
So this is a petition to amend the zoning map coming from the Planning Licenses and Development Committee. It is to amend a 1.24 acre portion of 62 Maple Avenue from industrial park to medium density. And on a vote of 4-0, the Planning Licenses and Development Committee recommends the adoption of O 2025-34A. And we have ordinance O 2025-34A relating to amendments to the zoning map, industrial park to low and medium density, Maple Avenue, and Route 12.
We will file the report of the committee, and I ask Councilor Jones for a motion to adopt.
Thank you, Your Honor. I would move for the adoption of O 2025-34A.
Second.
Seconded by Councilor Haas. Councilor Jones?
This was created by staff. It does a great job of helping future development of housing out in West Keene. And there's also some potential that could come out of this that would benefit the city. Just a reminder that Maple Avenue is a designated institutional street, so there's also those uses that can go there.
Thank you. Any further consideration? This has been both through the planning board and through the council committee. Seeing none, would the clerk call the roll?
Counselor Bosley.
Yes.
Counselor Tobin.
Yes.
Counselor Remy.
Yes.
Counselor Filio.
Yes.
Counselor Williams.
Yes.
Counselor Haas.
Yes.
Counselor Jones.
Yes.
Counselor Madison.
Yes.
Counselor Roberts.
Yes.
Counselor Vavalise.
Yes.
Counselor Lake.
Yes.
Counselor Workman.
Yes.
Counselor Chadbourne.
Yes.
Counselor Powers.
Yes.
Counselor Greenwald.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously. Moving on to J3.
And this is a Planning Licenses and Development Committee report relative to Ordinance O 2025-35. And on a vote of 4-0, the Planning Licenses and Development Committee is recommending the adoption of Ordinance O 2025-35. And we have that ordinance before us, and it is an ordinance relating to the muzzling of vicious dogs.
We'll file the committee report and ask Counselor Jones for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Can I ask Counselor Williams to make the motion for adoption, please?
Counselor Williams, would you please?
I move the adoption of ordinance O 2025-35.
Second.
Second by Counselor Filio. Counselor Williams, would you like to speak to this motion?
I suppose so. I was gonna have Phil warm me up, but this is good too. This has been a long time coming. It was about 2 years ago exactly that Suzette, who was a very small little white dog, was on a walk with her owner and got attacked by a much bigger dog. And the dog, took Suzette up in its mouth, and the owner tried to get the dog away, and the owner got a bite too, and ended up having to go get rabies treatment, which is, as I understand it, quite unpleasant. And one thing we found out about this dog that had attacked Suzette was that this was not the first offense, that another dog had been attacked before, and so there was a pattern of history. And in the New Hampshire code, I should say, it has different levels of, shall we say, dog crimes. There's chasing, there's barking, but a vicious dog is specifically defined as a dog that attacks with a serious bite. And we have an animal control officer whose job it is to evaluate the bite and decide if this was in fact a vicious attack. And we have in our codes there are fines attached to that. What this ordinance does is say that a dog that has been determined to be vicious should then have to wear a muzzle for a period of 2 years. And this is, well, the purpose of this is public safety. We don't want any more Suzettes getting attacked out there. We don't want the owners of dogs who get attacked to feel that psychological damage that it does to have your pet attacked like that. If the owner doesn't muzzle their dog, they face a $50 fine. If they don't muzzle the dog and the dog attacks somebody, they face potentially more consequences for the dog. I feel that this is a very fair ordinance, the way it works out. One of the other features of it is that I call it time off for good behavior. So if an owner recognizes their responsibility, takes their dog to a trainer, a valid certified trainer, and gets certification that this dog has learned its lesson, they can, with the approval of the animal control officer, get some time off early. So I think this is I thank our city attorney for putting this together along with Chief Stewart and our animal control officer. I think it's a very strong. It's a very strong ordinance. It wasn't easy getting here. We had to go through the legislature because the first time we did this, we tried to do this, we were told, just because of a funny wrinkle in New Hampshire state law, that we weren't allowed to do anything that had to do with muzzles for a dog. And so we went to the legislature. Representative Jody Newell passed or shepherded legislation that went through both the House and the Senate unanimously and was signed by the governor, that enables us to do this, enables municipalities to pass ordinances like this. As I understand, there are other municipalities now looking at this. So Suzette really has cast a long shadow here, and I think this is something we can do for public safety, and I really, I hope it makes an impact, and I hope you will all support it.
Thank you, Counselor Williams, for your persistence and patience with the process, and thanks for sharing the credit with the council on this. Our first action on this was to request the mayor write a letter of support for legislation by Councilor Newell. Happened that I was in Concord on that day and offered my support as well to the committee. So glad that we can be a city that's taking the leadership on this. It's good. Thank you for your work. Anybody else caring to comment? Seeing none, would the clerk please call the roll?
Counselor Bosley?
Yes.
Counselor Tobin?
Yes.
Counselor Remy?
Yes.
Counselor Filio?
Yes.
Counselor Williams?
Yes.
Counselor Haas?
Yes.
Counselor Jones?
Yes.
Counselor Madison?
Yes.
Counselor Roberts?
Yes.
Counselor Favelis?
Yes.
Counselor Lake?
Yes.
Counselor Workman?
Yes.
Counselor Chadbourne?
Yes.
Counselor Powers?
Yes.
Counselor Greenwald?
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously. I want to also thank City Attorney Palmera for her work on that ordinance as well. Thank you. Okay, moving on to J4.
And this is a Planning Licenses and Development Committee report relative to an update to Chapter 18 of the Property and Housing Standards Code. And on a vote of 4-0, the Planning Licenses and Development Committee recommends the adoption of Ordinance O 2025-36A. And we have that ordinance before us, an ordinance relating to updates of Chapter 18 Property and Housing Standards Code.
We'll file this report. I'm going to ask Counselor Jones for a motion.
Your Honor, I would move for the adoption of O 2025-36A.
Second.
Seconded by Counselor Filio. Counselor Jones?
Your Honor, I believe we have an amendment coming, so I'm going to wait to speak to this.
Okay, I'd like to recognize Counselor Bosley.
Thank you, Your Honor. So this is an item that came before PLD twice for a first reading, and there were several recommendations from the committee at that time. I unfortunately was not present for the follow-up PLD, where we got to see the staff's interpretation of the recommendations that came out of the committee from the first go. And on further review, I've noticed that there were some inconsistencies. So I would like to see this go back to PLD. I'd move to send this back to committee. I don't know if I have to make that as an amendment or if I can
No,
just
it's
move
not an
directly.
amendment.
So I'd like to move to send this ordinance back to the committee for an additional review. And I have checked my schedule and I will be present in January at that PLD meeting, even though I'll be as a constituent, so I can speak to some of the corrections that I think we need to fine tune here.
Second.
So motion to amend,
No, motion to refer.
to refer to committee. Made by Counselor Bosley, seconded by Counselor Filio. Sounds like a good move. Any questions? There's no time imperative on this action, so I think let's take the time and encourage those who are concerned with property and housing standards to take a look at these and offer some comments at that time. The January PLD meeting. Okay, yeah, all those in favor? I know we needed, do we need a roll call on that motion? I don't think so.
No.
All those in favor? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. On the J5.
And this is a Planning Licenses and Development Committee report relative to Ordinance O 2025-37, and on a vote of 4-0, the Planning Licenses and Development Committee recommends the adoption of Ordinance O 2025-37. And we have that ordinance in front of us, and it is an ordinance relating to Chapter 44, Building, Construction, and Demolition.
And I'd like to recognize Counselor Jones for the motion.
Thank you, Your Honor. I move for the adoption of O 2025-37.
Second.
We'll file that committee report, by the way. Counselor Jones, would you care to speak to this?
This simply establishes a standalone code chapter for building and demolition requirements and brings our code into alignment with state requirements.
Any comments, questions from counselors? Seeing none, would the clerk please call the roll?
Counselor Bosley?
Yes.
Counselor Tobin?
Yes.
Counselor Remy?
Yes.
Counselor Filio?
Yes.
Counselor Williams?
Yes.
Counselor Haas?
Yes.
Counselor Jones?
Yes.
Counselor Madison?
Yes.
Counselor Roberts?
Yes.
Counselor Favelis?
Yes.
Counselor Lake?
Yes.
Counselor Workman?
Yes.
Counselor Chadbourne?
Yes.
Counselor Powers?
Yes.
Counselor Greenwald?
And, yes, we move on to item J6.
And this is a Planning Licenses and Development Committee report relative to amendments to the Planning Board regulations and application procedures. And on a vote of 4-0, the Planning Licenses and Development Committee recommends the adoption of Ordinance O 2025-38. And we have Ordinance O 2025-38 relating to amendments to the Planning Board regulations and application procedures.
Thank Counselor Jones for the motion.
Thank you, Your Honor. I move for the adoption of ordinance O 2025-38.
Second.
Second by Counselor Filio. Counselor Jones?
Thank you, Your Honor. This is simply to comply with recent changes in state land use regulations, updates, and submittal requirements for simplification.
Okay. Any comments, Counselor Bosley?
I would just like to say that I believe that this is sort of a ceremonious adoption. We don't really have authority over these regulations. The planning board adopts their own.
And that action preceded the consideration by PLD. Okay, we're still going to have a roll call vote.
Counselor Bosley?
Yes.
Counselor Tobin?
Yes.
Counselor Remy?
Yes.
Counselor Filio?
Yes.
Counselor Williams?
Yes.
Counselor Haas?
Yes.
Counselor Jones?
Yes.
Counselor Madison?
Yes.
Counselor Roberts?
Yes.
Counselor Favelis?
Yes.
Counselor Lake?
Yes.
Counselor Workman?
Yes.
Counselor Chadbourne?
Yes.
Counselor Powers?
Yes.
Counselor Greenwald?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries unanimously. We have one resolution this evening that is up for approval. Would the clerk please read that?
Yes, this is a Finance, Organization, and Personnel Committee report, and it relates to adopting the provisions of RSA 79E, Community Revitalization Tax Relief Incentive. And on a vote of 4-0, the Planning Licenses and Development Committee recommends the rescission of Resolutions R 2028-33 and R 2025-09, and the adoption of Resolution R 2025-35.
And we'll file that committee report and ask Counselor Jones for a motion.
Thank you, Your Honor. I move for the adoption of resolution R 2025-35.
Second.
Second by Counselor Filio. Counselor Jones, wish to speak to this?
We're all familiar with 79E. It's been a great incentive program that the city has used to their benefit. This expands.
Can you turn on your microphone, please?
Sorry. This expands the downtown, this expands the district down to the West Street bypass. It's gonna make opportunities for more residential. The only question that came before us was, it only includes areas within city services, being water and sewer. That's something we can address moving forward. If a petition comes forward, we can either waive it or amend the resolution at that time.
Yep. One other question that was presented to the committee had to do with how will this be implemented so that this has some standardization to it that, and not just be episodic for each individual proposal. And manager helped point me out some further consideration.
Yeah, so I did check with the Community Development Department today, and the consultant that worked on this project for us, their next steps are to create an application form, a review checklist, and a checklist for the applicant, as well as a council checklist when considering these applications, as well as some additional educational materials for us to be able to share and some sample applications. So there's some additional work coming forward for the council from these consultants to help with that next step.
And that'll be a future topic on a PLD agenda, not necessarily for approval, but at least for information so that we can see that. Counselor Bosley.
Thank you, Your Honor. Again, I wasn't here to get to see this one all the way through, and I'm pretty progressive when it comes to my ideas about supporting housing development and encouraging things like this in the city, so I'm gonna support this. Not gonna ask to have it sent back, but I really want the PLD committee in the future to consider expanding this into areas that don't have access to city water and sewer. I think two of the criteria for residential property revitalization are adding new housing units and creating net zero homes. And both of those things are really valuable adds in the rural district. And by limiting this, you're taking that opportunity away from homeowners in those districts to have ADUs potentially, and to create solar projects with additional land, or on their roofs or whatnot, to help with some of our energy goals. So I would like to see us expand this even further, but I think we definitely need to adopt it tonight.
Thank you. Good suggestion. Any further comments? Seeing none, would the clerk please call the roll?
This can be a show of hands.
Which can be a show of hands. All those in favor? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you very much. This is the last meeting of this term of the City Council. I thank you all very much for your service to the city. It's been a good year. We've gotten a lot done. I hope to address that in 2 weeks at an inauguration ceremony. But I in particular want to thank our retiring councilors, Councilor Bosley, Councilor Remy, Councilor Madison. Thank you so much for your service to our city. Councilor
One last
DeLeo.
word, Your Honor, and you just mentioned the three that are leaving. And I'd like to have my council join me in standing and giving them an ovation that they deserve.
Thank you.
You don't have to stand, you can sit.
Meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.